Ralph Hammond Innes was a British novelist who wrote over 30 novels, as well as children's and travel books. He was married to fellow author and actress Dorothy Mary Lang in 1937, who died before him in 1989. He was awarded a C.B.E. in 1978. Biography. Innes was born in Horsham, Sussex, and educated at Cranbrook School in Kent. He left in 1931 to work as a journalist, initially with the Financial Times. The Doppelganger, his first novel, was published in 1937. In World War II he served in the Royal Artillery, eventually rising to the rank of Major. During the war, a number of his books were published, including Wreckers Misbreathed, The Trojan Horse and Attack Alarm, the last of which was based on his experiences as an anti-aircraft gunner during the Battle of Britain at RAF Kenley. After being demobilized in 1946, he worked full-time as a writer, achieving a number of early successes. His novels are notable for a fine attention to accurate detail in descriptions of places, such as Sinair Bridge, set partially at RAF Gatow, RAF Membury after its closure, and RAF Wunstorf during the Berlin airlift. Innes went on to produce books in a regular sequence, with 6 months of travel and research followed by 6 months of writing. Many of his works featured events at sea. His output decreased in the 1960s, but was still substantial. He became interested in ecological themes. He continued writing until just before his death. His last novel was Delta Connection. Unusually from the thriller genre, Innes' protagonists were often not heroes in the typical sense, but ordinary men suddenly thrust into extreme situations by circumstance. Often, this involved being placed in a hostile environment, or unwittingly becoming involved in a larger conflict or conspiracy. The protagonist generally is forced to rely on his own wits and making best use of limited resources, rather than the weapons and gadgetry commonly used by thriller writers. 4 of his early novels were made into films: Snowbound from the Lonely Skier, Hell Below Zero from the White South, Campbell's Kingdom from the book of the same name, and The Wreck of the Mary Dear, also from the book of the same name. His 1973 novel Golden Soak was adapted into a 6-part television series in 1979. It was partly filmed in Nullagine, Western Australia. An audio adaptation of The Doomed Oasis was repeated on the UK digital radio station BBC Radio 7. Innes' great love and experience of the sea as an experienced yachtsman was reflected in many of his novels. He and his wife Dorothy both travelled in and raced the yachts Triune of Troy and Mary Dear. At his death he left the bulk of his estate to the Association of Sea Training Organizations, to enable others to gain training and experience in sailing the element he loved. Bibliography. Novels: The Doppelganger, Air Disaster, Sabotaged Broadcast, All Roads Lead to Friday, The Trojan Horse, Wreckers Misbreathe, Attack Alarm, Dead and Alive, Killer Mine, The Lonely Skier, The Blue Ice, Madden's Rock, The White South, The Angry Mountain, Air Bridge, Campbell's Kingdom, The Strange Land, The Wreck of the Mary Dear, The Land God Gave to Cain, The Doomed Oasis, Atlantic Fury, The Strode Venturer, Lefka's Man, Golden Soak, adapted for television as Golden Soak, North Star, The Big Footprints, The Last Voyage, Captain Cook's Lost Diary, Solomon's Seal, The Black Tide, High Stand, Medusa, Icevik, Target Antarctica, Delta Connection, Books for Children, Coco's Gold, Isle of Strangers, Saracen's Tower, Black Gold on the Double Diamond, Non-Fiction, Harvest of Journeys, Knopf 1960, ISBN 97806121800. Scandinavia, Sea and Islands. The Conquistadors. Collins, 1969. ISBN 9780002175319. Australia, East Anglia.